Welcome to another speedrun episode. We're sitting at 1722. We're getting very close to 1800, and it will take a while till we get 2000. First opponent from Germany, MIFTSR. So opponent plays e5. So I on stream usually play d4, central gambit, but we'll go for main lines like knight f3. So here an opponent plays bishop c5 right away, so I won't take on e5, I'll play bishop c4. I want to go for Italian gambit, basically knight f6, and very weird. I mean, what if I play castle? Because I wanted to basically go for Deutsch gambit, but maybe we'll get it. Nah, he plays this move. Okay, we'll play d3. I want to get a Deutsch gambit. You can check my video out on YouTube channel Bishop.15, where I explained all the theory. Basically, you can just crush a lot of your opponents on your level, up to even master level. So plays castle. So here I would also consider taking some space on queen side. If a5 is played, then pawn structure is damaged. This I plan to go knight c3, and if let's say, a5 now is a good move because basically bishop b6, queen b6, right? What I probably have to do right now, I'll have probably to play something like bishop a2, and if bishop a2, I'll play rook a2, basically trading the pieces. So now we reach some symmetry. Yeah, bishop c7, he will be going for this, but now I can strike in the center. His bishop is no longer in b6. But even before, I could play d4 with a good position, and now the point is I'm threatening this bishop, so this bishop probably has to take, and after rook a2 there is d5 obviously, take, we're getting very equal position unless he makes a mistake. Yeah, he plays this right away, which I don't particularly like, because now again I can play this, and after knight d5 I can play knight d6, and after f takes e6 I can probably... Alright, but after it takes, my position is simply a lot better because he has this isolated pawn on d5. I have this beautiful knight on d4, and I can't say that I have or I experience any problems, because basically all I gotta do right now is make sure d4 square is always under my control. If now knight c6, I can just simply trade. If queen d7, again, I don't like the moves he's making, because here I'll play basically queen c7 and I'll play c3, make sure my knight is secure on d4 square, and I have no problems. And now I can start my own bishop b1 and queen d3 ideas with potential h7. Also, alright, he's now trying to go here. So what if I play bishop b1? Because my bishop is not doing anything on this diagonal, so why not reroute it that way? So here we actually can create some threats. If knight c6, probably bishop c2 works fine. So just make sure maybe we'll go queen d2, rook d1, and then maybe create some threats over there. Now knight c6 and bishop a7 looks promising actually. Queen d2 looks good as well, but after queen d2 I don't like knight e4. Queen f3 looks very promising because now I also have bishop h6 idea, basically setting up tactics. So basically I want to remove this defender from f6 knight by playing bishop h6 on next move. So he has to come up with something. I would first calculate something knight f5, queen g3, but then I don't see good continuation for black pieces, because after knight g6, it just takes the pawn, play queen. Yeah, that's why he plays here. And now probably rook d1 looks very good, queen g3 looks very good as well. Why not play queen g3? Because basically now we take this under control, no knight e5 are possible, and if he tries to play knight d4, I'll play bishop d4, and two of my bishops are very good looking on those two diagonals, and then yes, there are huge troubles. Yeah, I can even play, knight, now bishop h6 walks into this, so bishop d4, not only attacking this but also attacking this, and also threatening bishop c5, but exchange winning. So he made some mistakes, and now this bishop is basically helping me to pick up material. Because basically f6 here, yeah, f6 here, just bishop c5 and rook f7. Looks like, alright, rook got away, but no, because after bishop g6, actually both of the bishops are participating in the exchange capture. And also, still, pawn on a7 is under attack, so maybe I can even pick up the pawn and play up a pawn middle game. But here, the position is of course lost. He plays this, but after h4, I guess he will have no moves, as now, basically, I'm using this pin. So he had defense. He could play f6, but f6, I assume he was also afraid of some queen g6 and queen h7, but after queen g6 there is knight g5, and if I play h4 there is bishop f7, queen d3, knight d4, so he would actually get away. But now after h4 he actually needs to resign, because I am winning this piece on g5. Yeah, it will be win number 42, and okay, we won't cross 1800 in this episode, unfortunately, because basically we're not getting enough points. Takes, and now let's just start trading pieces. I could play bishop c5 of course, and after bishop c5 I'll actually, you know, be up a rook. But alright, this is still good for me. I can play bishop c5 next move probably, or I can play f3, queen g5, picking up pawn again. Here I would say bishop g6 looks very annoying, as well as some bishop c5. Actually, wait, let's just set it up. Bishop c5, if rook f7 is played, I mean bishop g6, and if takes, this rook has nowhere to go. So he has to trade, yep, and go rook e8 right now. But after rook e8, there is rook e8, queen e8, queen g4, and I pick up, basically I'll have 2 extra bishops, and if rook goes somewhere here, I guess rook e7 just ends the game, as I basically will threaten this, I'll threaten this bishop, and then easily enter light squares on this diagonal, and will checkmate on g7 square. Mark my words, after rook e7, I mean, he should just resign right now, there's nothing he can do. Let's just wait for a while. But yeah, he just decided to sacrifice it. But after rook d7, bishop d7, unfortunately there is queen d6, and I either pick up the rook or pick up the bishop and win the game. And also checkmate ideas, of course, of bishop g6, queen b8, queen a7, everything just works fine for me. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking in this game, as opening went very smoothly. Again, some very weird moves in the opening, I haven't seen it in a while, but he started making mistakes. I played in the center, he created isolated pawn, just play knight d5. Even after knight e6 takes, I mean, still, you know, it's hard. Here I have queen d5, queen d5 actually walks into bishop e6, so let's just pick it up. And queen a8 is a checkmate on next move, king f8, bishop g6, and I'll end up winning the game. So let's see what happens. Bishop g6, yep. And oh, I could checkmate queen a8 right away. Alright, queen a8 was a checkmate. I decided to basically give him an extra life. And again, next move will be a checkmate anyways, because no protection. Queen a8 checkmate. Win number 42. Let's move on to the next game. Alright, game number 2, playing with black pieces against EP.15, and my opponent plays e4. Again, you can suggest me the openings in the comment section, what you want me to play. I'll play c5. In this game I won't go for e5, and now we'll play classical Najdorf, hopefully. Yep, knight g4, knight f6, knight c3, a6, going for classical positions, Sicilian open variation. Let's see, I mean, basically there are not a lot of moves white can make, and main move is of course knight c3, or how it became popular, also some bishop d3. And he spent 13 seconds on this move, and now he goes for the most aggressive line in Sicilian defense. Queen f3, bishop b7, castle, queen c7. So usually what people do, they play f4 and then queen f3, but my opponent decided to play queen f3 first. But now the problem is, at some point, you know, he might blunder this e5 bishop g4 maneuver. Let's say I want to go for knight c6, I also want to go for simple b5 and bishop b7. Basically e5 here doesn't work due to bishop b7, and I basically hit the queen on f3. Yep, that's exactly what most of the people blunder. After e takes d6, I'll just simply play bishop d6, and unfortunately for him, this will not work. Because basically this queen is attacked, he has to come up with a plan. If knight b5 or this knight b5, I'll just simply take, and after knight 7, bishop c7, actually knight b5 I can take, right? And then if knight b5, of course, I'll pick up the queen, and then there is also double fork. What is that? Knight e6 is played. Honestly, I think this wins the easiest. Also just this, but I want to just trade queens off the board. And after knight c7, bishop c7, I'm basically, I took his piece, and also I'm now threatening this and this. Now king f8, and the rook g1, I'll play h6, and after g takes f6, we'll start trading pieces. But of course, I have more. So again, white lost basically in 10 moves in the Sicilian. Guys, you gotta learn, he now will basically understand why it's not possible, but I'm surprised he didn't know that basically after e5, he thinks that he's attacking the rook, he's attacking the knight, and he thinks it's a fork double attack. He's smart, but at the same time, after e5, I have bishop b7 hitting his queen, and now I'm the one who is double attacking. I'm attacking queen, I'm also extracting this rook, so if he ever goes back, I take on e5, I take h1, I take everywhere, he plays bishop h3. So again, a lot of threats. I might just play h6, and after bishop f6, knight f6, just trade material off the board. He has no checkmates coming up. I'll play bishop b6, he might enter 7th line, but it won't help him. Not at all. 23.4 seconds spent on last move h6, and I was showing you some lines. Basically bishop h4 is lost, bishop d7, h takes g5, bishop is under attack, and it almost has nowhere to go except for this, but I'll play this. If rook e1, I'll play g6, hitting the bishop, so no checkmates here. Even if I'm too crazy, I won't blunder because I'll have a square to get away from g7. So he has to go back somewhere, and I'll play rook h2, rook f2, pick up all the material in the world and win the game. So he has to do something here, and I'll get 13 rating points for this win. And we will be crossing 1750, and it will be our 43rd win. Still one loss, but that loss came after some crazy game where I just thought my opponent was a bit suspicious. But anyways, f3 is played. Now I guess g6 works fine, and also I could play bishop b6 right away, basically making sure we pick up another rook. So bishop b6 looks fine. If bishop d3 right now, of course bishop b6, and we will win the game, and the white opponent should probably resign right there, because he probably should see that bishop b6 is coming up next. He has nothing to do but resign. So let's just wait, and I'm surprised that we're actually winning really quick in this episode. 5 minutes into the game and the position is lost. So I'm waiting for problems. I am waiting for someone who will deliver me a lot of problems. And now bishop b6, extracting those two rooks on this diagonal, so beautiful. And basically, again, just resign this, rook e8, and now basically we trade this rook off the board, or we trade some of the pieces. King e8, take the pawn. Yep, I'm not sure why people continue playing this, but guys, if you see, just don't waste time, because in this particular situation, white has no chance of winning the game. Of course, on this levels anything might happen and the guy doesn't know who he's playing against, but still, On this level, most of the people will easily convert the game. And I'm almost sure that, I mean, I'm playing against my viewers all the time. And usually people convert those types of positions. So guys, don't even try to play them. Just resign, don't waste anyone's time. Because this is just a bit disrespectful. But we're fine, we're still gonna be, you know, trying to... Of course I could play knight c3 actually. Yeah, now I'll just basically go f5, f4, f3, f2, checkmate. I want to deliver pawn checkmate this. I mean, knight c5 is obviously not possible due to this. f4, knight c4, of course I'll take. Or again, I can continue with my setup, but knight c4, of course I'll take. And basically start bringing my king to the action. f3 and f2 checkmate is unstoppable. White should resign. It's win number 43. We're crossing 1750. Come on, just resign now. Alright, knight c4, last move of the game, because after f2 or rook e2, it's a checkmate. Let's get to the final game of this episode. Alright, final game. Opponent from Lithuania, e4, again facing on the board c5. And do we have knight dwarf again? Probably we'll continue practicing it. Knight f6, attacking the pawn on e4. Knight c3 is the main move of the position. Yeah, a6. And now multiple moves, this, bishop b3. And again, for second consecutive game, we're facing bishop g5. The most aggressive move, bishop e7. I'm not sure what knight f3 is. Yeah, he plays bishop c4 and now just castle. So of course after bishop g5 the main idea basically is to play f4, queen f3, develop your king to c1 and have a strong attack, but my opponent decided to go very, you know, passive. He goes for bishop g5, knight f3, bishop c4. It's good he developed his pieces, but it's not good that he, you know, played a bit passive instead of playing the main line for, you know, to be aggressive, to be straightforward, to try to basically get your opponent in some trap, to destroy your opponent early on using some attack. Because let's say, I'll promise you will probably place one of the bishop g5 moves in future games against Sicilian defense, so stay tuned, because I think there is a lot of interesting lines that I can show you, and so that you can crush the Sicilian yourself. So knight bd7 is played. I'm just developing my pieces. I'll bring my rook to c8 at some point. I'll play h6, play knight d5 probably, and then maybe rook d8, rook c8, and just, you know, slowly start creating some threats. Now after knight d5 takes bishop g3, there will be rook d8, and I'll be very happy, because basically, yeah, he has this pin here, but I mean, bishop c5, bishop f2 just looks awful, yep, because now I have all the dark squares on the planet for myself, and if king f1, it looks horrible. Knight h5, knight f4 is coming. I mean, I can also come up with something else. I might play rook d4, play rook d8, play maybe even f5, open up some squares, maybe a5, f4, knight g3. He plays this. I mean, alright, that was pretty much expected, because he needs his king to go somewhere. Basically, because look, if king ever h3 actually would walk into knight g3 checkmate. Let's say instead of g3 he plays h3, knight g3 is a checkmate. Queen e2. Alright, now I wanna play rook d8, and basically after queen f3 I'll just probably go back to e7. I'm not afraid of anything. He's playing good so far, actually. I didn't like the way he put his pieces, but actually if he plays right, let's say he plays rook d1, then he plays bishop e2, then he trades all the rooks of the board, he might actually secure a draw result in this game. But again, we'll try to wait for mistakes, we'll try to, because I don't see a way to, I don't see a clear plan for myself. I mean, yeah, I doubled my rooks on d-file, but that was kind of useless. I could potentially, you know, create a sacrifice on c-file, but again, it doesn't work as I planned. So now it's just like the game of mistakes. Whoever makes mistakes or whoever doesn't make mistakes will win. So let's see. I mean, I would play rook d1, or I'll play king g2 just to be safe. He plays knight d2. I don't really understand this move, knight f6. Because I don't see a plan, because he can't play c4, because there is basically this, and now he plays g4. Again, I don't like the way he puts his pieces. I just think it's a bit, you know, yeah, he'll try to play h4, but his king is on f1. I mean, it's still not, he's on f1, and it's not the best idea to put it like that. Maybe I'll play knight e8, knight d6, knight c4. It's actually looking like a good plan, because if bishop takes, you know, I'll have d2 square for my rooks. I'll play queen h4, maybe queen h3, queen h2. Basically queen h4 is a good threat, because then, you know, I can go back with my knight, maybe even queen h4, knight f6, h6, knight h7, knight g5, queen h3, knight f3, and all those things. 1751, and we will get 14 rating points for this opponent. Will be very interesting. Yeah, c4. Exactly, guys. A minute ago, what did I say? He can't play c4 because bishop is unprotected, and now he plays c4 and blunders his bishop. You see, I waited for mistake. You know, I was very calm. I didn't rush with anything. You know, all my pieces just put on safe squares, and then just wait. And this is how you will win. Just wait for a while, don't rush. Because when you rush, this is what happens. He plays c4, this is what I exactly said. He plays knight to 2, he's trying to push c-pawn. Otherwise this move doesn't make sense. Knight f6, g4, knight e8, c4, and now I pick up everything. And he resigns. Let's go. We're 1765. Hopefully next episode we might cross 1800. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.